Krishnamoorthi is the managing director at Trellis Horticulture. In 1997, he completed his Bachelor of Engineering at the Government College of Technology in Coimbatore and then his Master of Science at the University of New South Wales in Australia. After completing his studies, he returned to Madurai, Tamil Nadu, eager to pursue opportunities back home. Mr. Saranyan Krishnamoorthi came from a business family. They were in the business of manufacturing matchboxes. Mr. Saranyan recognized that his father's existing setup did not offer him much room for expansion. Mr. Saranyan Krishnamoorthi desired to accomplish something of great importance. He was well aware that his grandfather's ancestors had founded the Sivakasi industry. In the early 1920s, Wimco's industrial technology was brought to India, but it was unsuitable for the Indian market due to the excessive waste it generated. The Nadar brothers indigenously developed a manual process that significantly reduced waste and became cost-effective. It also created enormous employment opportunities in a region of Sivakasi prone to drought. He worked in his father's company and actively sought out opportunities. He was a member of the local Chamber of Commerce for the match industry, and during one of their meetings, 6th, 2nd and 3rd generation business owners discussed ways to expand their market primarily on the international level. In 2005, they formally incorporated Apex Match Consortium India Private Limited. Mr. Saranyan Krishnamoorthi was appointed managing director and they established a proper corporate structure with defined roles. Apex Match Consortium provided options for white labeling and ready-to-ship match boxes. Customers could select their own splints, heads, side friction, labeling, etc. Mr. Saranyan Krishnamoorthi would extensively visit trade shows to generate business opportunities. They identified clusters and started to acquire a small number of customers from each cluster. Slowly and steadily, they gained traction in South Asian and African markets. Their online lead generation mechanisms were optimized. Due to the highly competitive nature of their industry, as an USP, they prioritized building strong and lasting relationships with their customers. They ensured quality standards were met and consistently met delivery commitments. In roughly a decade, they made significant progress and were generating around Rs 25 crores in revenue. Each year, India exported approximately Rs 240 crore worth of matchboxes, and Apex Consortium was among the 10 top exporters. By 2025, Apex's revenue is expected to reach Rs 50 crores. However, the future of the matchbox industry, which is valued at Rs 1,500 crore, is bleak. Widespread use of gas lighters at home and to an extent increased awareness on the harmful effects of smoking and its ban in public spaces and rising production costs have all contributed to the industry's challenges. Even the handful of large matchbox manufacturers are struggling. Wimco, once the nation's largest match manufacturer, is a case in point. The industry's revenue has decreased by 25% over the past few years, and approximately 8,000 units have closed in the past decade. For the remaining 1,500 to 2,000 units, 90% of which are concentrated in a few Tamil Nadu districts, it is merely a matter of time before the flame is extinguished. Mr. Saranyan and his fellow directors were aware of the fact that matchbox manufacturing is a dying industry and consequently devised a diversification plan. They began to research numerous options and experimented with numerous concepts. The search for a viable alternative vertical lasted 3 to 4 years. Numerous ideas failed and money was continually invested in their trial and testing. Even though they were able to survive on the profits of their core business, they maintained financial discipline and restraint and did not go overboard. With all these experiments, they discovered an opportunity in gardening. They gained a great deal of knowledge about the industry by attending trade shows and seminars. The ornamental horticulture market matched their orientation and goals.
So we thought we will take one more industry, and we studied lot of industry like notebook industry, other where real demand is there and things like that. So finally we finalized narrowed down on horticulture industry. But it was very different from what we are doing already. So it was an entire diversification. It is not like just you have some strength over it and then you extend your strength and do that diversification. So we sat consciously and we discussed like whether this is right or wrong, because anyway when you are diversifying, the existing business can have a bit of suffer actually, because if we are not doing the diversification, we would have reached that higher market share position even now actually. We would have done that, but we thought definitely we need an industry where we need to slowly learn the industry, study the industry, and so that we have a clear vision for next 20-30 years where this company can go. So in that way we started in 2013 and studied that horticulture industry.
In 2016, they had their first set of export clients and shipped cocoa peat and garden accessories. They brought in semi-finished goods to which they added value. By 2019, they had approximately 40 to 50 export customers. In the same year, Trellis Horticulture International Private Limited was established as a subsidiary. Additionally, they desired to explore the direct consumer market, so they launched in India. Unlike most other hobbies, gardening was a character building hobby and they see a tremendous growth opportunity in India. During the pandemic, there was a favorable shift towards gardening as a hobby.
In 2019, we had a separate company which was like promoted by Apex Patch Consortium and had a different name like Trellis Horticulture International. So since we wanted to be an international company, we had named it as Trellis Horticulture, because trellis means support actually. So supporting horticulture in whatever way we want, that is what we looked into. So we named it as Trellis Horticulture and we ventured into it.
The retailing of gardening products in India is in its infancy, so Mr. Saranyan chose to establish an online channel. Trellis Horticulture offered a variety of gardening products including cocoa peat, cocoa husk chips, buffered peat, cocoa disc, cocoa husk disc, cocoa plugs, coir pots and grow cubes.
In Trellis Horticulture, when we started, we had the same issue. Our objective was to go into a gardening business. But when we are doing for quite a bit of time, we started getting lot of orders from substrate companies where they were trying to use our facility or our capacity and they were ordering like very high. So we grew for 2-3 years and then we saw like really what we are doing. Actually this is what not we have been thinking of doing. There was a shift in that because we got orders, got moved towards that and we have been doing that. So last year and last 2 years we we focused into that. We should not deviate because our financial plan was with respect to what we planned, but because the market was pulling us, we went into that and there was a bit of a financial balance happened in that. So we studied that why the financial balance is happening, means we did a mistake in strategy. So again we stopped that. Now again keep focusing on what we need to do and again realigning this to work. So always there have been a strike in, strike back like that, all the time it has been happening. But we are slowly aligning things towards that and we strongly believe that definitely this gardening has been taken to the larger crowd.
They came into coir industry to add value to customers through their products. They selected the gardening industry and started supplying coir pit with its packing suitable for gardening industry. To explore more into this, they had a new product development team and had a small R&D center. They brought in products for gardening industry that will make gardening easy to do. Trellis Horticulture now works on reaching every people and help them do gardening. Their signature products are Trellis Bliss Garden Soil, Trellis Bliss Natural Planter made of coke, Trellis Bliss Natural Fertilizers.
So this was looking to be a good segment because really like we can really what the product we provide can really add value to the customers in the direct sense. Actually, if you are supplying to the agriculture industry, that cannot add value directly to the customer. It can be only a B2B product, but here it can become a B2C product where we can add value. So that we thought this is a good segment to take up, and we studied the market and started slowly exporting also.
They ensured that the packaging material was entirely organic and natural. In the past year, Trellis has gradually gained traction. They are receiving positive customer feedback. They are able to fulfill 7 to 8 orders per day and are laying the groundwork for scaling to 100 orders per day. Initially, they wish to concentrate on the states of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Maharashtra. Their goal is to reach 1 lakh retail customers within 3 years. Mr. Saranyan has always viewed impending obstacles as opportunities. He was entirely engrossed with what he could do rather than what would happen. Mr. Saranyan's career path has been meticulously and consciously planned. Mr. Saranyan and his team are extremely confident in this venture and are committed to taking it to India's 140 crore population and eventually to international retailing.